Hey everybody, it is Pat with our Oracle card reading and messages for this upcoming week, which brings us into the it's middle of January. So let's see what's going on. I went ahead and pulled some cards already in the interest of time, and so I've pulled an archangel for us for the week. I also pulled from this card deck, which I haven't used for a while, Daily Guidance from your Angels, and the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. Okay, so the archangel who's overseeing us this week is Metatron, and this message of indigo and crystal children. And it says, you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. So with that card, what I get about it and what I sense with it is children having sensitivity issues this week. There's a lot going on in the world, and even if they aren't children who are watching the TV and seeing what's going on with Iran and all that stuff, and just in the world in general, in terms of storms and volcanoes, children are like sponges, and it kind of shows up in different ways with them, where they're just really sensitive to, they might be whinier than usual, or just wanting your time and attention more. And it is your bond with them that helps them through it. Okay. I also do feel like this card is heralding kind of, and I've spoken about this before, like the kids who came forward with that, I think it was the Parkland shooting in Florida, that were doing so much speaking out and standing out. And you're going to see children, older children, young adults, gathering like that again. And indigo and crystal children was something that was introduced to us probably a good 20 years ago now. And because they were children who came in who were very psychically and empathically sensitive. All right. They're the kind of kids who, say stuff to you that you're like, how could you possibly know that? Very highly intuitive. But they came in large numbers. I want to say in the 90s. And so indigos were ones who were meant to be leaders. They had that color in their aura. And crystal children had more of an energy or aura color that was very opalescent and had a very strong connection to the earth and all of its creatures and natural habitats and things like that. So, anyways, they're now adults. They are young adults, and they're activating and they're fulfilling their kind of mission, if you will, that they came into this lifetime for. So you're going to see larger groups of them, I think. I mentioned this before. I think some other intuitives have too, that we sense them gathering and to help us make change, to bring forward the kind of changes that are needed, because it's their world that they're going to be living in. The destruction that's happening now, and if there are things that are with climate change and stuff that's happening now, it's going to affect their future more than ours, those of us who are in our 50s and 60s. So anyways, let's see. So anyways, Metatron is an angel that you can call upon. He works with highly sensitive children. And so you may be encountering that in your own children if you have that. If you don't have children of your own, you might see it in, you might see it in another child and end up connecting with and having a bond with them. So that's our overseeing archangel for the week, and kind of what's going on with that. It also can mean that I get that it might mean that you as a parent have some sensitivity to what your children are being exposed to, and maybe some concern around that. So call on Metatron to help with helping your children through any sensitivity issues or things that you might be concerned about that they may be exposed to or sensitive to or what have you. So on to our card messages. So the beginning of the week, from the daily guidance from your angels, we had this message of blessing in disguise, which says, what appears to be a problem is really an answered prayer. So the beginning of the week, there's some kind of issue or problem that we're dealing with. It might be utterly frustrating to you. I know I've had one today with technology that's been utterly frustrating. So this card is heralding that it's a blessing. Okay, maybe not to get too frustrated by it. It's kind of hard to see it in the moment though. And the oracle card that came out right underneath it is this one, a change in the wind. And it can be symbolic of things. There's some kind of change in direction that's going to take place. I mean, it can literally mean that in a very real way in our outer world that there's a storm coming. But it also can just mean that there's a shift that's happening, that's going to take place in direction. Okay, so the beginning of the week, it looks like there's some kind of event or something that's frustrating you, a problem that you're having and encountering that may cause you to go in a different direction. Or it can indicate that there's events going on, that are out of your control, that are creating a shift in where things are going to. So something like that is at the beginning of the week. All right. The middle of the week, there was a couple cards that came up. There's let your past go and trustworthy guidance. All right. And underneath that was this one, message in a bottle. So the let your past go, it may be that whatever problems have come up for you, or whatever you have perceived to be a problem, if it's in your personal life, your work, or your career, you're just kind of done with it. That's what this is. It's, the card says, the burden of carting this around is just, it's time to put it down. So you've been carrying it around with you for far too long. So, you may have come to that inner shift or decision, that change in the wind where you're just done with it. And the other piece of that, the trustworthy guidance, is that you've gotten some new ideas about a direction that you'd like to go in. Okay. And to trust and follow that, because it is real and it is trustworthy. Trust your own intuition about it. And this card sort of tells me that you're going to be getting some positive signs about that too. As this is going on, as you're deciding you're done with it and, putting it behind you or deciding to put it behind you, you're going to get some signs and messages that are confirming it for you. You might find there are some people who are happy to see you go in a new direction. Maybe it's taken you a long time to get over a relationship or something, and you're finally just moving on and, going to join a group or going to move someplace else or something like that. And you're getting positive messages, maybe both from people or opportunities opening up, or a lot of times people see, they'll see the same numbers around, or even like an animal, like a bird or something. That's a confirmation for them. But it's also kind of saying, yeah, pay attention to those signs. So now as we get to the end of the week, we got time to go and imagine. So this indicates that there's an ending that's happening. It says the sun sets and rises each day, and it's the same with the avenues in your life. See the beauty within each sunset see the beauty within each sunset in your life, and know that the sun will also rise again tomorrow. Endings are merely the start of a new beginning, and we are with you through each phase and cycle. So there's an ending coming. And that may be part of what the change in the wind was or is. But with it is the imagination, like your imagination is sparked. Maybe it feels like there might be a lot of creative new ideas coming in. Now that you're done with this and you've put it behind you and it's come to an end, there's a lot of using your powers of visualization, imagination to manifest new things in your life, or to bring in new opportunities, or thinking proactively, from an inspired place of like, okay, I could look into this, I could look into that. There's a whole new bunch of possibilities for you that are opening up, and it's only limited by your imagination. And what's interesting in this card with the imagery is that it's the moon there, and the person in the image has their, little string attached to the moon, so they can, what does it say? Shoot for the moon, and you can still land among the stars, or something like that. I may or may not be phrasing that correctly, but anyway, so that's what the end of the week brings. A bit of an ending, but there's positive new visualization around it. You're kind of dreaming of possibilities, is what it feels like when I look at that Imagine card, of where it can go to next. Okay, so those are some of the messages that I get for this coming week. Hopefully I will have no more frustrations in technology and uploading this video. And I hope you have a lovely week, and I look forward to speaking with you again very soon. Take care, everyone.